Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Commodities Update. And today we'll be updating you guys on technical analysis of natural gas, UNG, US dollar, gold, and silver. So we'll be looking at their support and resistance levels, as well as where's the most likely scenario price to be heading into later next week. And if you guys like to join free Discord chat room in the YouTube file link, and feel free to check it out. Just hang out and talk about stocks, as well as feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you guys learn anything. All right, let's get started. So we're looking at natural gas on the 1 hour time frame. So I was looking at this on Wednesday, and we kept on rejecting from this rising wedge over here. You can see this resistance, and this was the support. And I remember talking about this last week where I added my initial position here, and I just kept it at that. I didn't add more because I was looking for a stronger bounce or in some kind of a daily uptrend before I added more. Talk about that in a second. And essentially, once I saw this rejection, I decided to set my stop below this rising white support. If we break through that, then I'm out. So essentially, we broke through it, bounced a little bit, and it was still in it. So I decided to just set my stop at the low of this day, this candle, and let it play out. So if we had bounced from here, we would have likely potentially head up higher to this 1.93, but we didn't. And essentially, I got stopped out over at this around this candle. And that was like overnight or something. And yeah, and then I started off for profit. It was still a decent gain. Let's see, roughly, yeah, 6.5%. And we had that report on Thursday where it was a little bit bearish of the rig counts, and we rolled over. Then I was looking at this support at this one, bounce. You can see this line, and then we flushed through that as well. We initially slightly bounced, and then we flushed through it. Then now it's acting as resistance. So you can see prior support acting as resistance over here. And so that was not a good sign for the bulls, but we did bounce off of this support, which is pretty much this last one here, bounce. And you can see this is a bigger term support. It's more of a major support here where we ended up bouncing from that. You can see all this black one is actually quite major support. I was looking at that one, and you can see bears try to go below it, but they couldn't. See all this battle over here, just up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down for like a couple hours overnight. And then finally, bears see that they can take down. So we had a little bit of bounce, but then we can't even get over this one. So that's a problem here. So that's this one. So ideally now we are looking at indecision pretty much between bulls and bears. So you can see this candle here as well after hours and just chopping around here. So as long as bulls stay above this black line, we're okay. And because that's pretty much the major support, and this was the bear break lacking follow through, and we bounced from it. So we don't want to come back down here again as a bull, but as a bear, of course, you want to come down here and break through that. We'll be looking down closer to this 1.66 zone if we break through this. And as a bull, if you guys are able to hold above this black looking line, then we would potentially come back up to test this black looking line again if we do come back up. And if we can break through that, then we're looking back to testing closer to this 1.87 range here. Major resistance around this area as well. So yeah, a lot of resistance for above us and some support below us. So we'll see how it plays out. What I wanted to see is a daily uptrend confirm from the bulls. So initial move up, I talked about all the time where we always get these big moves up, right? But when we start pulling back, we don't change the trend and we just give it all back. All these moves, right? So a trend change is making a higher low, meaning this low gotta be higher than prior low. So we have that now, that's set. So now we need to break to a higher high, meaning we gotta break above this prior high for a daily uptrend to confirm. If we start shaping up daily uptrends, then there's a good chance we can break 1.93. But before that, there's still a lot of resistance to break. That's 6.8% away. So that's quite a bit to ask from the bulls. And at the same time, Remember when I was talking about the EMA 12, this teal looking line as resistance? Rejection, 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 rejection. Now there are 4 rejections here. We finally broke above it, and it acted as support one time, and then that's it. It flushed through it. Now look at it. It's acting as resistance again, exactly where that right on the dot. So that's not a good sign for bulls, especially when we just broke above it and came below it now. And now it's acting as resistance again. So a lot of steps for the bulls to break above the EMA 12, and hold this black looking line of support where we're looking at that major support, and back above this distance on the hourly one where we just rejected it here. It's a lot to go through. So pretty much we just want to break above this high, 1.8, 2, 3, 4 more upside. And if bears, break below that major support down here, and we will have more downside. And if you guys want to master your trading, regardless if you guys are swing trading, day trading, or any kind of that, just want to hone your skills, go to the Patreon link. I'm currently doing one-on-ones. I'm limiting to 5 spots because they take a lot of time to an effort to teach someone. And yeah, and if you guys think it might be interested in, book that free 15-minute call, and we'll see if you are going to be a good fit. All right, let's take a look at UNG. So UNG, similar idea. I want to see that daily uptrend going. So big move now, pull back. Let's see if we can break above this prior high. If not, not much is really going to happen. And for UNG's EMA resistance, we're looking at the 8-hour. You can see we usually reject over on the 8 hours. And we finally gotten over it. This time you can see it act as support, bounce over it, and now we're acting as a resistance again, just like the daily EMA 12 for NatGas. For UNG is 8-hour. And yeah. So yeah, if the NatGas holds that major support down here, UNG will likely hold it as well, and we'll have a chance of bouncing. But right now, it's looking a bit like a tightening range, which is tightening up. And let's see which way it breaks out. Yeah. Above that, and we may get a chance. But even if we do break above the EMA 12s, this may become like a big tightening range. So unless we make a higher high, get that daily uptrend going, then bulls will have a good chance of potentially heading higher to that one, breaking that 1.93 critical resistance, because 1.93 is this major resistance right here. Rejected there for 5 days, actually 6, and there's more here as well. So daily uptrend, then we have a chance of this, but for that we need to even break this EMA 12. Us to for UNG would be 8-hour EMA 12, which is right where we rejected pretty much of this candle at 15.9. Sorry, that'd be 15.24. You can see a lot of volume traded here on the side. And so this is pretty much just a big sideways zone where bears or bulls are just battling out to see which way we'll end up breaking. Yeah, you can see all these volume. This is just volume bars. All right, let's take a look at, let's see, US dollar. So if you guys want to get your own stock looked at, and I'll do a technical analysis video on it, and I'll record a in-depth video, obviously more in-depth than this. Check out that Patreon link, and in the shop link, you can purchase that. I'll record a very in-depth video for you guys on any kind of ticker that you guys request. Our US dollar. So we talked about where on Tuesday, where this is a bull break lacking follow through because of this break. This is a weekly break on the chart, on the weekly chart. And I said that weekly charts breaking should have follow through, especially on the weekly chart, because it takes a long time to form these weekly candles. And if we just broke above the weekly resistance, we want to see follow through. And if we don't see follow through, that's a red flag. And obviously, if it's like a 5-minute time frame and we get something like this, it's just a small red flag, no big deal. But if it's on the weekly chart, we get something like this where we finally broke above it and no follow through, then that's a bit of a red flag, bigger one. Sure. So we got some follow through. After that, I was talking about it on Tuesday, saying that we are still in striking distance where we can still come back out and retest it. But it looks like it's a clear rejection after Wednesday. And we came back down to this 104, which I said would act as support. A bounce, and looks like bears are rejecting it from it again. So now it's looking more like a head and shoulders. And shoulder is a uptrend. Apologies if it's just an uptrend into a downtrend. So let's see if we break below this low on Thursday's low. That would be 103.91. That's a downtrend confirmed. So that'll be confirmed head and shoulders if that happens. And we may get more downside towards a 3.6. Let's take a look at gold. So gold, yeah, kept on going. I talked about this since last week, saying don't short this, just let it play out because there's no resistance above us. Bull flag confirmed, continuation, held the EMA 12 even though on this pullback, held this looking line, bounced off of it 3 times, boom, just kept on going, and no signs to slow down yet, but you could start scaling out. Up to you guys. Nobody knows how high it's going to go, but it's a bit overbought. And I said that as long as it keeps going, there's no resistance above. We want to see some kind of sideways action before we even say, okay, maybe there's some resistance at that level, or some kind of a pullback breaking the EMA 12. Then we form some kind of a daily downtrend. Then we know there's resistance at that price. Now, we literally close at high of the day. So yeah, there's no resistance yet. So we can zoom in, on a 5-minute and take a look, see if there's any resistance. And yeah, there is a slightly resistance here. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at this level. And then we start pulling back, right? So people are like, okay, maybe there's resistance here. But this is only the 5-minute chart, right? So it's not that big of a deal. So we pull back a little bit, and then bull just bought it back all off, and then we close the harvest day. We're not really over it yet at this rejection, so we'll see if bulls decide to break that. If it breaks that, then obviously we're gonna probably have another leg up and then just discover its price again, maybe form something like sideways again. But yeah, now pretty much all-time high is a slight resistance, just a tiny, just tiny bit here. We don't want to. Could have said the same thing back here, right? Over here, slight rejection, yeah, and then we start pulling back a little bit, and then yeah, bulls are like, oh, and then just kidding, right? So this could also be the resistance and pull back a little bit, and then sideways a little bit and head higher, or just be the top, the temporary top, right? And then just have a bigger pullback back to the EMA 12. So that'll be like 3.6% pullback, right? So that nobody's gonna know that until it starts pulling back. All right, silver. So silver is catching up after its yearly equilibrium break of this big triangle black looking line, breaking out finally and seeing a lot of follow through actually. So after it broke out, we are up by 7.7%. It's pretty good. So now we're looking at potentially this structure right here, this cluster of resistance. Keep going, we're probably going to hit 28.17, which we are getting pretty close, about another 2.5% away. Yeah. And if we break that, I'm looking closer to, let's see. Yeah, if we break that, I'm looking closer to 28.7. Just put that down around this level. Actually, I like this level better. And if we break that, we're looking closer to up, probably around here after that. So yeah, there's some, so the biggest one, I would say it's definitely this 28.17. If we can break that, there's actually not that much resistance above us after that. slightly some, but definitely a ton less than 28.7. You can see this cluster here, amount of cluster here, this lower area. We're pretty much currently where we're trading at right now is this cluster of resistance. So we'll see if it can break that between here and that 28.7 zone. If it does, then we probably a good chance of, testing that $29 level. And if we break 29, maybe we go to all-time highs as well, but we'll see. As of now, gold is already up a lot. So if gold starts pulling back, it might drag silver a little bit down, but we'll see how far it keeps going for now. And yeah, and for your metal bulls, you want to see this. Definitely love seeing this US dollar pulling back. That's perfect for you guys. And because US dollar is a headwind for metals. All right, that's what I got you guys. And feel free to like, share, and subscribe. If you guys made it this far or learn anything. And I will see you guys probably on Tuesday for more updates. Have a great rest of you guys this weekend.